everybody. Welcome to I think this is our 11th episode of All Things Bourbon, and we've had kind of a reprieve there for a few weeks. We haven't shot any videos, but we decided to get back on the horse and film a few more. We're going to talk today about Hochtown Distilling Company. So
About a month ago, we decided to, we were just walking around our neighborhood and we're like, what can we do today? And we've been to distilleries in Kentucky, but we decided that, hey, we should go check out something local. So we looked up Hochatown, and we're in the Tulsa area. And we got in our car. We actually got online to see if they were open, where they were located, and how long. I think it was about a 3.5, 4 hour drive.
yeah.
And they also had like a 4 o'clock in the afternoon tour. It was their last tour, so we signed up for that and we jumped in the car and took off down there. It's pretty far south in Oklahoma, and so we get down there, and the way our directions bring us in is kind of a funny story and not related to bourbon, but if you were actually going to take the tour from Tulsa, it took us through a forest.
Forest Service road.
Yeah, government, like the whole, they pull those logs out of there. And so we were covered in dirt, and I was like, we're lost, we're going to have a flat tire, all these kind of things. And then we start barely coming into some really nice cabins. And then around the corner, we come in the back way to Hochatown. And these brothers, I guess, came up with some idea, and they put in the distillery, they put in a winery, they put in a brewery and some food places, and they have tons of cabins and that they rent out. But when we got there, it's right by Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and thankfully we missed Broken Bow, and it's very busy coming in that way. But anyway, we were very pleasantly surprised to find this little area that was just hopping, and to get a chance to do the tour.
Yeah, so this was a very spontaneous trip, and as she said, we followed our Apple Maps, and it took us through that foresty road, and
Dust for weeks in our car.
Had dust for weeks and on our vehicle trying to get the dirt out, but it was a fun day. So Hochatown, which before we went down there, we thought it was Hochatown, which would make sense because I've called this Hooch forever, right? Like a lot of people have. It's actually Hochatown.
Hoch makes sense.
Yep. But Hochatown Distilling Company was formed in 2015 by three brothers and a good friend that had experience in the distilling business. So Tommy McDaniel is a chemical engineer, and Mitchell McDaniel was a chemist who had worked in food science as a chemist for years. And then Mark McDaniel was a developer, which lines right up with what, if you go down to Hochatown, you'll see all of the development there. The land around there is just going like hotcakes, and they're building all kinds of vacation cabins. It's closer to Dallas than it is actually to Oklahoma City or Tulsa. And so a ton of people are coming into that area from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and renting cabins. And
they said it's actually rare to have people from Oklahoma. They have more people from Dallas-Fort Worth and Louisiana than they do from Oklahoma.
So we, as Tammy said, we got online to see if we could get a tour that day, and they did have one open. So we took a tour, and they are they're a craft distillery. So
very
they have
small.
Very small distillery. They do not fill that many barrels of
just because of time so far. I think they wish they could.
But they do have. They'll take you a tour. They explain the process in their small distillery, and they'll take you into their rick house, which is back behind their store and tasting area. And it was just it's a neat experience to see somebody that these three brothers and a friend. He's a friend. His nickname is Tater Jewel, and he has experience in distilling, and he has a long family history of making moonshine. If you know anything about McCurtain County, It's it has been equated to moonshine and probably a lot of drugs and a lot of things going on. But these guys have really turned that area around to be a major tourist attraction. And
Yeah.
through the summer months and the weekends, I mean, we were just blown away when we pulled up and see a full parking lot of cars and going, what is going on here? It's just like it's out in the middle of nowhere. Um, but we did. They have a sort of once you do the tour, they have kind of a speakeasy room set up for you to be able to taste their different bourbons, and we only have one of the Hochtown. I think there's actually three different Hochtown bourbons.
Yeah,
We ended
there
up
was
with a
small
small batch.
but then you liked the
They
single
also have
barrel.
a cask strength single barrel,
I can't remember what the other one
and
was.
they have another one, and I can't remember what it is, but if you're looking for something to do on a weekend, I would highly recommend going down to Hochtown. It's a good road trip. The Ouachita Mountains are beautiful down there, and lots of trees.
So
And
for the back to the bourbon, we went in and they took us around and talked to us, and they had just had a tragedy. One of the brothers, I think the oldest brother, had just passed away, and so they were kind of reeling. The people that work there, they all know each other, and they've kind of been from this little small town, and then it's blown up, and they've gone through all this, and then they had this tragedy. But so I don't know how they're doing, but they were booming and growing faster than they could keep up,
hmm
and then they had this tragedy. But to their whiskey making, he had done the brother that passed away was really the genius behind Hochatown as far as their bourbon, and so we got to taste that, and like he said, there was that speakeasy, but you could tell they were really hurting and trying to figure out which way they were going to go from here as a business. So for us, the tasting, and they let everybody go around and taste everything back in that room,
hmm
and then we came back around the gift shop. All the workers were super nice, and then they had that bar.
Yeah,
Um,
they have a bar next door to the gift shop. So like
and in the back of the gift shop that you can drink
and in the
theirs.
back that
Yeah,
you can drink the Hochtown. But
you have to pay.
if you're killing time waiting on your tour or whatever, you can go in and
Different drinks.
have
Yeah.
it different drinks there. And as she said, there was other than the bourbon, there's a lot of other stuff to do there. There's
The
a
other little
brewery, there's
bar was,
a
I
couple of
think,
restaurants. There's a lot going on over there. I think
they did make a good product, and we're wishing them the best of luck to figure out where they're going forward. So
yeah, I would rate.
it's
I
a
mean,
great trip, especially if you're Dallas or you just want a day trip.
yeah, this is their small batch, and we'll
I
take.
don't even think Texas can get it.
I don't know. I've seen this
They said they
in
can't keep up with the Texas strength.
several liquor stores
In
here
Oklahoma, we
in
can find
Oklahoma.
it, but it's anyway.
Do you want some?
Oh yeah, I was gonna drink yours. I don't know why. So
So
this was the one we went mute. We made a what's it called when you come to which you didn't get your way and I didn't get my way. We compromised.
we compromised. So I liked the cask strength the best. She liked one of
I can't remember.
the other
They
ones.
were all good, but sometimes you
But
don't
it's a very good bourbon.
taste like bourbon for sure.
Cheers, y'all.
Check out Hochatown.
Go check out
and,
Hochtown.
Have a good time, and then they say don't go through Broken Bow unless you need to but I think
it'd be worthwhile going to Broken Bow, but just expect
they said
some
you need about an extra hour.
some delay due to traffic, depending on the
Yeah.
weekend, because it does get very busy down there. So, cheers, y'all.
Have a great day. Oh, like and subscribe.